Alright everybody, I'm going to show you how to cook CHICANA. Alright, this is a good stew. My grandma always cooks it. Been cutting up tomatoes here, as you can see. I always cut the ends off because I don't like biting into the stem part. But yeah, these are little cherry tomatoes. Cut them in half just like that. I think they're going to look and taste very good in the stew. Alright, so I just got done cutting up about a couple dozen cherry tomatoes, and that's what it'll look like. You'll have about 48 of them. I cut them all in half, so I cut about 24, cut them in half. You got 48 pieces, and I think, sorry for the distortion there, I think that's going to give our CHICANA a nice color, a little bit of a nicer texture as well. Next thing you want to do is grab at least one bell pepper. Sometimes I'll put in, two. In this case, I'm making a bigger stew, so I'm gonna put in 2. And I just kind of do this number. I'll cut the top off, but then I'll cut these sides off as well, so that I can get every little bit of pepper available to me. And I'll just throw that little core away. And then you want to go ahead and dice these up. Okay, and then I'll just do this number. Be careful, these will make you cry when you cut them pretty harshly too. They're nasty, mean little bastards. So there's that. I like to do big chunks of onion too, I really do. I love to do big chunks of onion. And just kind of have those floating around in there. Generally large chunks for garlic, because a lot of people mince these when they put them in stews. I like to put them in little chunks, just like everything else is kind of chunky. So garlic's pretty strong too. You don't really need too big of a chunks on these. So yeah, go ahead and cut up for a large portion, 2 large jalapenos or 3 small jalapenos. So generally with the jalapenos, I'll cut them up relatively the same size as the bell peppers. And watch out, if the thing squirts you in the eye, it will hurt. You'll be rubbing your eyes all night after that. You got the jalapenos, bell peppers. You got the garlic, you got the onion, you got the tomato. We are now ready to make CHICANA. All right, everybody. So, to be cooking this, I'm personally going to be using a crock pot. My grandma, I think she cooks it on a deep skillet. I like cooking it in a crock pot because it makes the meat so much more tender. My grandma likes it better this way too. Sometimes she cooks it in a crock pot now because yeah, the meat just gets so tender. I mean, you could pinch it and it'll just, you could cut it with a spoon basically, or cut it with your fingers. That's how tender this stuff gets. So yeah, we got some big old chunks in there like that. Yeah, this is going to be really good. So yeah, there's that. And then you have, garlic and stuff and all the bell peppers and all this stuff we throw in at once. And it just gets really, really tender. I mean, even the vegetables you could cut with a spoon. That's how, tender this stuff ends up getting. Damn, this is a really big chunk right there. Look at that. That is a huge chunk of meat. Holy shit. I wonder if I should cut them up. I'm not sure. So yeah, let's go ahead and start this thing up. Sorry, I drew a blank there. I'm going to put it on low for now. Okay. And we're going to dump our meat in. Yeah, just like that. I got lucky the little paper thing didn't come off with it. Okay, I'll throw that in the trash later. Yeah, just kind of break up some of this meat here. Always make sure you wash your hands, guys. It's really important, especially when you're touching food that other people are going to be eating. You want to let it soak for at least 8 hours. Okay, so it's 1 o'clock in the morning right now, guys. I work night shift, so I'm used to being up at night. We're going to have this ready by 9 o'clock in the morning. It's my day off tomorrow. It's my day off today as well, so I don't have to worry about going to work at all. I'm going to be cooking this overnight while I'm sleeping, and hopefully by the morning it's ready to go. We're now going to add our beef broth, Swanson beef broth. You could use whatever brand. It really doesn't matter what brand you use. I just picked out a random brand. All right. And you just pour that shit in just like that. Oh yeah, look at that. That's going to be a beautiful stew. So yeah, then we're going to go ahead and dump our veggies in. There goes our bell peppers and jalapenos. Alright. And then here goes our garlic. And here comes our onions. Nice good amount of onions in there. We want a lot of flavor in this. And then we'll put our tomatoes right there on top. Look at that. Doesn't that look yummy already? All those veggies. Yellow can of El Pato. My grandma would have a fit. She'd probably have a heart attack if she saw you make it with anything else. Okay? Don't give my grandma a heart attack. Get the damn yellow can of El Pato hot tomato sauce. Okay? And then regular can. It doesn't matter what brand on the regular can. And it's cut. Look at that. Bam. Just dump that shit on in there. You know what I'm saying? Dump it on in there. I'm gonna dump everything in at once, right? And we're gonna cook it all together. That way it absorbs all this flavor. Next, we want to add our chili seasoning. Bam, there it is. So we're going to open up this. We're going to put a whole one. Usually I put a half one, but I think I'm going to put a whole one this time just because I'm cooking a bigger serving. So yeah, so you can get the hot chili, you get the regular chili seasoning. It really doesn't matter. It's going to give it about the same taste. This is just a little bit more spicy, so I'm going to put it in there and see what it does. This is my first time using the hot chili. Usually I use the regular one as well, just because you have jalapenos in there already. You have hot tomato sauce. I mean, it's already pretty spicy, but I kind of want to make it a little more spicy. So yeah, you kind of want to give it a nice little stir before you put the lid on. So we're going to do just that. Give it a nice little stir. So yeah, see, well, I think I'm going to put a little bit more oil in there, just a little bit. Just a little bit more frying oil, just to see how it makes all those little bubbles. It looks really nice. Looks really tasty when you do that. See, because then it glistens. Look at that. See how it kind of shines with all that oil in there? It looks really nice. Don't put too much oil. You guys could really butcher this entree if you put frickin' too much oil. So don't make it taste like oil. And just put that on, and I'm going to turn this up to high. And I'm going to leave it on high for about, I don't know. We'll put it on high for about 4 to 6. We'll put it on high for 4 hours, and we'll turn it down to low. And we'll just cook it on low for the rest of the night. Really excited to see how this turns out. All right, y'all, it's been 6 hours. Yeah. Fell asleep a little bit there. So turn it on low. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, steam fogged up the lens there. See how that's, oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, that's looking good right now. Look at that. That looks beautiful already. I bet you it's probably ready to eat right now, but I'm going to let it cook on low for a couple more hours just to let that meat get really nice and tender. You know when your stew meat is done? Whenever you can cut it with a spoon. Okay? When it just peels apart like that.